I felt horribly when I was told that the young woman who was had the tragedy. It's a tragedy. It's a horrible thing. Everybody would say, ICE would say the same thing. Her father was a tremendous, and parents were tremendous Trump fans. It's so sad. It just happens. It's terrible. And, you know, they're going to make mistakes sometimes. ICE is going to be too rough with somebody, or, you know, they're dealing with rough people. They're going to make a mistake. Sometimes it can happen. We feel terribly.
In Brooklyn Park, one particular officer that shared her story with me was stopped as she passed ICE going down the roadway. When they boxed her in, they demanded her paperwork, of which she's a U.S. citizen and clearly would not have any paperwork. When she became concerned about the rhetoric and the way she was being treated, she pulled out her phone. In an attempt to record the incident, the phone was knocked out of her hands, prevented her from recording it. The officer had their guns drawn during this interaction, and after the officer became so concerned, they were forced to identify themselves as a Brooklyn Park police officer in hopes of slowing the incident and de-escalating the incident down. The agents then immediately left after hearing this, making no other comments, no other apologies, just got in their vehicles and left. I wish I could tell you that this was an isolated incident. In fact, many of the chiefs standing behind me have similar incidents with their off-duty officers. This isn't just important because it happened to off-duty police officers, but what it did do is we know that our officers know what the Constitution is, they know what right and wrong is.
Just landed in Minneapolis, and when I got off the plane, this guy said, "Hey, I was just watching your stuff. What are you doing here?" And I told him, I'm here because I believe in the Constitution, and that I believe especially in the First Amendment, and I think all journalists should be here if they have the opportunity and the means to do so, just to chronicle, have as many cameras and eyes and ears on the situation as possible. So I just landed just a little bit ago. It is snowing here. I'm about to go outside, but everybody has to be willing to sacrifice something. This is a gentleman who spoke to me as soon as I got off the plane. Watch this. You said to me, people are afraid. Why?
People are afraid to come outside because the local government is not helping to do anything. So if someone got arrested today and go to prison, they're going to be there.
Yeah. But don't they want to make us afraid?
Of course, that's what they're doing. So people have to stand up.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah. You were asking me why I'm here. I said everybody has to do something, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, thanks.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. So look, I know that you are sitting in the comfort of your home because someone said to me, be safe out there. It's cold. Take care of yourself. And I think comfort right now is the poison that is going to be the end of our democracy and the end of our country and the end of us. So we can't be comfortable right now. We got to do what we can, even if that means just getting out there, showing people what's going on, even if it means donating, whatever that means. But I'll see you on the Don Lemon Show on the Don Lemon channel on YouTube, on Twitch, on TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, on Substack, all of our channels. Make sure you like and subscribe and tune in. I will be live here in Minneapolis very soon. Okay? See you, Lemon Nation. Thank you for supporting the channel. And let's see what we can do about what's going on here.
An ICE agent literally came over to me and said, "What did you say?" I said, "I am not afraid," and they pointed a gun in my face. ICE put handcuffs on my hands and put me in a black SUV. And then a few moments later, they came back and they said, "Are you afraid yet?" And I said, "No." And then they said it, "Well, you're white. You wouldn't be fun anyway." It was then that I knew that this staging, that these ICE raids are really about fear and intimidation.
Is that him? Is that him? Yes! Open the door! Oh my God. Drive. Oh my God. Just drive. Stop! Wait, let them go! Let them go!
Hey, pull over. Hey, leave it.
Get out of here.
Leave it up.
Get out of here.
No.
Y'all just let him leave. It's not worth it. Hey!
We don't know him. Stop it. Let him out.
We got his back!
A far-right activist named Jake Lang, who once stormed the U.S. Capitol on January 6th, tried to hold a pro-ICE rally in Minneapolis today. However, hundreds of anti-ICE protesters outnumbered a very small group of people who were there in support of ICE. Jake Lang, who organized this entire event, appeared to be injured, was seen crying, and was even chased out of downtown. Take a look.
Ah, Jake, you thought it was a good idea, didn't you? Ah, Jake, you thought this was a good idea, didn't you?
FAFO, am I right, guys? I mean, just take a look at him here crying as a protester is in his face telling him what he thinks about him. But Jake called this an anti-fraud march and actually thought a lot of people would show up in support of ICE and what they've done in Minnesota. But instead of swaying the crowd like he thought he was going to do for some reason, you can see the fear in his eyes as he was met with hundreds of anti-ICE protesters who forced them out of downtown. The fact his little pro-ICE rally fell apart so quickly and he was so outnumbered tells you everything about how this community feels right now. Guys like Jake live on Twitter, and they think because a bunch of bots support government overreach, that means every American does as well. But it turns out that's—
They use words, they use bullets.
This is the man who shot Charlie Kirk. This is the man who shot Trump. This is the man who killed Melissa Hortman. This is the man who tried to kill John Hoffman. This is the man who tried to kill Paul Pelosi. This is the man who killed an Obama-appointed judge's son. This is the man who hired hitmen to kill Democrats. This is the man who ran over a left-wing activist and killed her. This is the man responsible for the Austin bombing. This is the man who sent pipe bombs to Obama, Biden, and Hillary Clinton. This is the man who shot Gabby Gifford. This is the man who tried to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer. Oh, and this man. And this man. And this man. This man. This man. This man. This man. This man. And this man. This is the man who set Josh Shapiro's house on fire. This is the Oklahoma bomber. This is his accomplice. These are just a few of the men who beat police officers on January 6th. I can think of a few things they have in common, and it's not the way they use their words or their left-wing politics.
We use words. This your brother Van Silk, Common Sense with Van Silk. Listen, I'm going to keep making my post. I'm going to keep talking about what's going on with the ICE agents and what they're doing to people, because this is uncalled for, the way they're treating people of color. It's funny, YouTube took down a video of mine talking about it went against the guidelines. Now all the videos were clips from TikTok and YouTube. Now these were just videos of ICE agents or whoever you want to call them arresting people, treating people bad, and they took down the videos off both my channels on YouTube. And I'm starting to get to the point, it's like, what's going on? How can they go against the guidelines? These are the actual videos of what's going on and how they're treating people. And all I'm going to keep doing is clipping videos and posting them. People need to stand up because they're in Florida. American citizens shouldn't have to prove their citizenship. What happened to MS-13 and the rapists and y'all just walking up on people asking them for their ID? It's like, is this America? America's a great country. It's the people that's running this country. That's why I created America Loves Great Americans. I made a post about great Americans. Everybody got an opinion about being American. Being American doesn't constitute you draping yourself, tugging the flag. That's defamation of the flag. You're not supposed to be doing that to the flag. That represents this country. Nobody cares until it hit home. Once it hit home, And I didn't think it had anything to do with me. It has something to do with all of us in this country. Now, you got a lot of people who are ICE agents that are doing their job the right way. Then you got those who are not properly trained, getting paid, and it seems like no matter what people put out, it's only supposed to be one truth. I guess Truth Social is supposed to be the actual truth of everything that's going on in this country. People got to get out and get the young kids to register to vote. Stop worrying about the restaurant tenderism. Y'all so worried about the tenderism. Put all that energy in telling these young kids to get out to vote. Register to vote. We got a long haul ahead of us, and y'all don't even realize that. We're supposed to have freedom of speech. We're supposed to be able to speak. We're supposed to be able to do things. Why do people with accents getting targeted? Brown people. They want to get at Don Lemon for going into church, which is the pastor is a field officer, allegedly for ICE agent. Supposed to be a Christian church? Really? But y'all have went into daycare centers, schools, hospitals, and pulled people away. Listen, I am on rumble.com, Common Sense with Van Silk. I don't understand why YouTube ripped the videos from my channel. And it's the same videos all over social media. This is what happens when the message is being, how would you say? I would say submerged. You want to put it to where it can't be. A lot of people is not standing up for their rights in this country. You're not sticking up for your rights in this country. I'm a true American. We got to get this effort going. We have t-shirts. I'm a true American. I am an American. We all live in this land. Born on this land, you are a citizen. The immigrants came to Ellis Island, and those who came from the Caribbean came to Ellis Island. If you look at everybody in the White House, y'all are all descendants of immigrants. How many of your family members falsified their papers when they came here? Christy Noam and somebody else is Norwegian. You got Donald Trump, families from Germany. Stephen Miller, Jewish. You know, the only one that you really can't find anything on is Mike Johnson. He's from Louisiana. But I'm trying to say, when are the Republicans going to stand up and say, hey, enough is enough? The Epstein files are thrown underneath the carpet. The Sasha Rowley speaking up, thrown underneath the carpet. You want to bring in the troops on American soil for what? This is called hatred. Babylon the Great. This is what we face with right now in this country. I love this country. My grandkids born on this soil, just like everybody else. You got people who want a pathway to become a citizen in the United States of America. And you want them to go back to a place they was never born in or never lived in and come back here. Well, if that's the case, then we need to do that with everybody. Everybody. We need to go back 3 generations or 2 generations back and say, did your family come here legally? If not, then you have to go back and come back. They don't want to do that. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. I just look at the picture. As before I came on, you seen some of the people, some of the things that's being done to the people. And after I'm finished, I'm gonna play some more of the videos of what's being done to the people, reporting what's going on in this country. Martin Luther King's national birthday holiday was celebrated. No mention of Martin Luther King. And this is what y'all voted for. You know what's sad? When people know they are wrong, they don't even want to admit it. They always want to push the goalposts. Oh, well, so-and-so did this and so-and-so did that. And it's sad that people don't want to recognize evil. It's my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. So on this note, let's all become righteous in what we believe in. Speak up. Because we all in this together. Van Silk, common sense.
To be clear, they're holding indigenous people there because they're trying to finish the genocides they've already started while they're committing these. That's why they're doing this. They're wiping the table clean of everyone that does not look like me. That's what they're doing. That's what's happening here. That's why they're kidnapping indigenous people. That's why because they think they're allowed to finish these genocides while they're committing the others.
It's a Hail fucking Mary on what they've been doing for 250 fucking years. Exactly. They're literal fucking Nazis, and they operate like fucking slave catchers. Their ideology is fucking Nazis. They're white supremacists, and they operate in the function of slave catchers. Literally, they move around in roving bands and decide who belongs and who doesn't, at will, with no oversight. What the fuck is that?
Yeah, they just took me out there with no clothes on, and they just covered me with my grandson's blanket. They didn't ask for my ID or anything until after they handcuffed me, and then they asked me, do I have my ID? I go, yeah, it's in the room. And then my daughter-in-law, she tried to get my ID, but they didn't want to see it no more. Just the ID?
Yeah. Just the...
Minnesota is getting so bad that when I took my daughter to Children's Hospital, which is usually 3 to 7 hour wait limits just for you to get in and get seen, was a dead zone. There was no babies there. The nurses said that it's been so quiet and dead that people are not taking their kids there because they mostly have Hispanic babies and Somali babies for their clients, or whatever, you know, the people who go to the doctors are usually Hispanic babies and Somali babies at this children's hospital right in St. Paul in Minneapolis, Minnesota. They said that the nurses, they have never seen their hospital this quiet before. They said women and men are scared to take their children in because it's either take our children and risk going and getting detained by ICE members and getting unalived, or taking our baby in. So they're having to choose their kids' health as a way to stay home Pretty much they're not going outside because they are too scared. And that means that they're risking their baby's health because they are too scared of ICE members. In Minneapolis, it's not even going back to school until February 12th in person. They're all online. The babies are online learning right now because of how...
On Wednesday, ICE came to our school and it got really violent and there was tear gas and staff was attacked. A few of my friends were here when it happened. I got a text message in a group chat from one of them. She said, ICE is at Roosevelt. And I was like, oh my gosh, my friend is with ICE at school. I need to call her. I called her. She answers and she's like, no, Clover, I need to film right now. And she sounded like teary-eyed and I was like, okay. I hung up on her. I didn't know what to do. I was like, should I go to school? Should I stay at home? I posted the videos that she sent me and Luca slid up on one of them and he says, do you want to organize a walkout with me? And I was like, absolutely. Our school needs to stand up for this. It happened here. We need to do something. We need to speak about this. We posted about the walkout. We were telling people at school, messaging news outlets. We were messaging adults to get safety patrol marshals, and it just all came together so well, and I'm so happy that we were able to do this. Minneapolis Public Schools announced that we were doing online for people that didn't feel safe for coming into school. You can definitely feel that in the classrooms. I noticed lots of people missing from certain classes, everything just feeling sulky and sad and depressing. You can just tell that everybody's hurting. I'm really happy that we're standing up for our community and our immigrant neighbors. I haven't heard anybody be like, well, I support ICE. So that makes me really happy knowing that I'm surrounded by lots of caring, empathetic people.
ICE out! ICE out now! ICE out now! ICE out now! ICE out now!
I was seeing things on the news about ICE coming to other schools and people's houses, and I felt horrible, but I didn't feel that feel of like so much fear until it happened to my school. It's not just something you're seeing on the news, it's actually happening. I mean, it's a scary time. They have every right to be scared, but know that a lot of people care about you. You saw how many people were out here today. We all care about you. We all want you to be safe. Reach out to people you know can help. Don't go to school if you don't feel safe going to school. If you need groceries, reach out to communities that are giving out groceries. There's outlets that you can look to and get help from and stay safe.
Who's school? High school! Who's school? High school! Who's school?
Clear the street and move to the sidewalk.
Get her off the street! Get the Proud Boys off the street! Get the Proud Boys off the street!
Everyone needs to clear the street to the sidewalk. Lawful order.
This isn't a movie scene. This is Minneapolis. Citizens literally stood face to face with ICE and said, "You're not taking anyone tonight." On January 17th, Minneapolis residents formed human lines, tracked ICE movements, and physically blocked arrests. Whistles, walkie-talkies, live alerts, everyday people turning their city into a warning system. Supporters call it community defense. Critics call it obstruction of federal law. ICE says enforcement is legal. Locals say fear has taken over their neighborhoods. So here's the real question. When citizens hold the line against the government, is that protection or...
My country 'tis of the land of inequity, of thee I sing. Land where my mothers cried, fought, bled, and sacrificed for rights which we are now denied. Let freedom ring.